I remember my mom said, "Oh, fire truck" once.
Oh, fire truck. Actually, I have a funny story related to that. In my house, we were not allowed to say quite a few words. Yeah, in my house, you weren't allowed to say damn or all those other more explicit words. Mm-hmm. And then I went over to my aunt's house, and I heard her say damn, and I thought, oh boy, we can swear over here. So a couple seconds later, I yelled out as loud as I could, but no, we could not swear there. And if we do say certain words there, we get our mouths rinsed out with soap.
I never actually had my mouth rinsed out with soap.
Oh, lucky you. Looks like your parents didn't do very good parenting.
I was just hit.
It'd be funnier if it weren't true. No, and you were saying something about a story about your grandfather swearing?
Oh my god, the first time I heard like anybody actually curse, or like my grandfather curse, was when I was a wee little tot. Mm-hmm. And I was fishing with my grandpa off the edge of the dock that he had. And my grandpa caught this tiny little like bluegill or something. And he was trying to reel it in. He's like, "Get up here, you little shit." And I was like, oh, my grandpa said a poop word.
Tell me again the story of how you learned about all of the Gilmore Girls lore.
Oh my god. I didn't learn all of it. I watched the second movie. A lot.
A lot. You just couldn't get enough of it.
Yeah, so I got medevac to Germany because I had this weird problem that kept popping up with my leg. I still don't know what the hell was going on with that. I'm pretty sure it was a really bad allergic reaction to something, and my lymph nodes were just freaking the fuck out. While I was in Germany, the room I was staying in had a TV. There were only 3 channels that I could watch. One of them, everything was in German, and it was like weather and stuff like that.
And you knew German, so you watched it all the time, right?
No, I barely understood German, and it was really boring, so I didn't watch it. I was fully expecting there to be like, Germans are much more liberal about that stuff, so I was fully expecting to see like tits and stuff on TV, but no, I didn't get any of that. So after I got tired of watching weather a lot, I turned to one of the other channels, which didn't work properly. And after about 3 hours of watching static, I got really bored, so I changed it to the third channel, which was just movies. And there were only like 4 movies that would play on this channel. And it was The Hunting Party, which is actually a semi-decent movie. 30 Days of Night, which was boring after the second time I watched it. And the Sex and the City movie. So I inadvertently ended up watching the Sex and the City movie about 12 times.
It's not inadvertently if you make the decision to actually do it.
That was the only thing that was on TV, and I didn't have a smartphone, because it was before smartphones were a thing. So yeah, unfortunately, I've watched the second Sex and the City movie like 12 times.
Well, since we have this long journey ahead of us, why don't you tell me the story of Sex and the City?
The second one? I can't remember the story from it.
Tell me about the characters.
I remember there's the one, like, bitchy girl that's got a face that's kind of like a horse that's like the main character. It's Sarah Jessica Parker, and she plays like a writer or something, and then her boyfriend is like a really rich dude whose name is Mr. Big, I think.
Okay.
And they go to Mexico at one point, and one of the girls gets the squirts because she accidentally drinks some water in the shower.
Sounds like a pleasant movie.
It's a dumb movie. It's a really stupid movie.
How would you rate it?
The second one?
Have you seen the first one?
No.
Okay, without seeing the first movie, how would you rate the second one?
3 out of 10.
3 out of 10?
I had zero interest in that movie. There's nothing about that movie that appeals to me.
Just because it's not your genre doesn't mean it's a bad movie.
It was very boring. It was not well shot cinematography-wise. It was just a boring movie.
Motherfucker!
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. You know what's worse than that is when you're laying in bed and it's the morning and you're warm and comfortable. And you're like, oh no, I need to fart. So you fart and then you realize that you probably shouldn't have gambled on that one.
Never had that problem myself.
You fart and it comes up black, my friend.
Comes up black.
You gamble, you put it all on red, and guess what? Oh boy. This may or may not have happened to me. Lying in bed. Squeeze out a little fart and then it's like suddenly... I'm not sleeping in today! Gotta run to the bathroom, but you can do that weird waddle.
No, I do not make that weird waddle because I have never...
You've never shit in the bed?
No. I've never... Is that is that a thing that people do?
You've never gambled on a fart and lost.
No!
That happened to me.
Gross.
That also happened to me at a separate time, but that was because I had dysentery, so that's why it happened the other time.
Yeah, when you have dysentery, you can be forgiven for having bowel issues.
When
it's a beautiful morning and you wake up and the sun is just cresting over the hill and shining in your window, you don't normally go, oh, what a beautiful day, better crap my bed.
I didn't do it on purpose.
You were at the gas station, you saw a red-tailed
I
hawk.
was at the gas station, I'm putting air in my tires, I'm like, oh look, my tire's made in Serbia, that's kind of cool. And then I hear the noise. I was like, oh wow, there's a red-tailed hawk flying around up there. Which is really cool, because I've never actually heard the red-tailed hawk sound in person. And it was flying around maybe 50, 60 feet above me.
What a fascinating story.
It's like, oh, that's really cool. Kept filling up air in my tires.
And then it came by and punctured your tires and said, that's for sleeping with my girlfriend!
No,
That would've been
cooler than that. Bobby Bass wants to hear the story, too.
And he wants to water his cacti, but those things are going to drown in the water.
Yeah, dude, stop watering your cacti so much. They're gonna drown.
You were telling me about the hawk that stabbed you?
A minute after I noticed the red-tailed hawk is up there, I hear it cry a couple more times. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then I hear this whoo, poof in the ground right next to me. The red-tailed hawk lands 10, 20 feet away from me and just starts ripping into a squirrel. I'm like, holy shit, nature is so metal.
And this happened 10 feet from you?
Yeah, right next to me. It just slammed into a squirrel and starts tearing into it.
Did you fight that hawk for its meal, or did you think it
Nah,
deserved...
man, that's his meal. He deserved it. He earned that meal. He gave me a show.
How is the fact that your car tires are made in Serbia relevant to the story?
It's not. I just happen to notice it, and those two are going to be forever correlated in my brain. I'm going to remember until the day I die that I once saw a red-tailed hawk rip into a squirrel about 10 feet away from me. Oh, and also my car tires were made in Serbia at the time.
Any other associations you wish to share?
I will forever associate the smell of diesel exhaust with the time of 5 in the morning.
And the reason for this is...
Just because when I was in the military, anytime we would ride to firing ranges in the back of military trucks, it was always at 5 in the morning. So if I smell diesel exhaust, that's like the first thing that goes into my head is waking up at 5 in the morning and climbing on the back of an LMTV to go to a firing range.
Yeah, I kind of get that. I get a similar smell from morning dew. Reminds me of nice, peaceful mornings in California. It's a very distinct smell.
Mm-hmm. Also, diesel exhaust from LMTVs kind of smells like Elmer's glue for some reason. I was living at home, I'd just gotten out of the military, and I was about to go to sleep, and I heard a bunch of noise from downstairs that sounded like people talking, and I chambered around in it.
Why is that your first reaction?
Because if somebody's breaking into the house and stealing crap, I'm gonna shoot them. So I go downstairs, and I'm in my underpants with a shotgun, clearing my house. I get downstairs, and the TV is on, and I'm like, who would turn on the TV if they're trying to break into a house? I go look around the side of the couch, and my cat has sat on the remote and has turned the TV on. I almost unloaded steel birdshot into my cat from point blank range.
In your shotgun, you had steel birdshot.
Yeah.
Why?
Because steel birdshot at close range is absolutely devastating.
And there's no need to shoot your cat when obesity is going to kill it soon anyway.
Oh, that's sad.
And true.
My secret for avoiding dental fees is to just do all my dentistry at home.
I don't even want to know.
I chipped one of my teeth at one point, and I went to the dentist, and they were like, okay, it's going to be like $600 to file this down. And I was like, I don't have $600.
No, I know where the story is going.
So I went to Walmart and bought a set of really, really fine, like, jeweler's files, and then just kind of filed the sharp edge off the tooth in my bathroom.
Why? Why do you do these things?
It didn't really hurt.
That's not the point.
I saved $600!
Oh, who can argue with that, I suppose?
$600 saved! Well, technically only like $580 because I had to buy the files. I didn't have them already. And then, as a bonus, I got to use the files for building model kits.
Why wouldn't you let a professional touch your teeth?
For $600?
Yes!
I did the exact same thing he was gonna do.
Okay.
Granted, I may have poked my tongue a couple times with the file, but you can't tell me that he wouldn't have done the exact same thing.
You're right. You're better than the dentist.
Yes, I am. Removing my teeth is something that I leave to the professionals.
Oh, I'm glad you at least have that common sense.
What I do is, if I need to get dental work done, I move to a different state, I have them do the dental work, and then I just move back to the state I was living in. And then I don't pay them.
Yeah. You've only got 49 dental visits left in your life, huh?
Oh, shoot, I guess you're right. Well, now it's like 43. Crap. I was eating a bowl of noodles at one point, and my molar cracked. A huge chunk of it came off. I started chewing on it, and I went, there's not hard things inside noodles. Unless you're eating raw noodles, in which case, yes, there's hard things. But I'm eating cooked noodles. Why is this happening? And it was a little tiny piece, like maybe the size of a pushpin head. And I spit it out, and it was a chunk of my tooth, and I went, oh, that's great. It didn't hurt, so I just left it. And then about 6 months later, I was grinding my teeth in my sleep, and when I woke up in the morning, I realized that half of my molar had completely sheared off.
Good God, man.
So I had to go to the dentist, and they had to basically post my tooth and put a crown on it, so I have a gold molar.
You know how sometimes you try and do home repairs, and you don't do them right? You gotta hire a professional to not only fix the problem that you originally had, but also to undo the bad stuff you've done?
That was not my fault. Nothing about that tooth was my fault. If anything, it was my previous dentist's fault, probably because I didn't pay him. Like, he didn't know I wasn't going to pay him. It was my previous dentist's fault for not putting the filling in correctly, and also mostly my fault for grinding my teeth in my sleep and weakening the tooth in general.
You've got a lot of problems, man.
I have a lot of dental problems.